Welcome to another episode of Cadet Chat. I'm your host, Dr. K, and I am super excited to have a very special guest, Lucas Child, 7th grader from Merton Williams Middle School, and he's going to talk to us today a little bit about the service learning project happening over at Merton Williams, and that's the Ugandan Water Project. So tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing as a school and what you're doing as a student as far as that goes.
Yeah, so we kind of, a couple weeks ago, we had a half day and we had these guest speakers come in and talk to us about the Ugandan Water Project and kind of what it is and how they're raising money and supplies for people in Uganda. And so we had a lot of service learning projects relating to that. And I know the 8th graders built filters, and we had to decide, we looked at the resources in the different villages and had to decide which village would be in the most need of water. And as a school, we had a goal of $3,600 to raise. And I don't know the exact number of how much we got, but I know we were pretty close. And yeah.
Great. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, so for our audience, tell me a little bit about, I'm going to make an assumption, and I do know, but what's the story about clean water in that country, and why is it necessary? How is it difficult for them to get the water? Why this push to help them have clean water?
Okay, yeah, so Uganda isn't a very developed country, not like the U.S., so they don't have like water pipes wherever, and a lot of the villages aren't connected to a really a huge society. Like Hilton is a town, but Uganda might not have these more developed towns. So they have these communities, and they have little to no access to clean water in those communities. So you would have to walk miles in a day just to get water, and that time can take away from things like education and health. And also, when they do get to that water, a lot of the water isn't like a fresh spring. A lot of it is these excavated ponds where they just rainwater collects, but it's not clean, and they have no real way of filtering it out besides boiling it, which again can take just the fires that they make can take hours. So the whole process, they were saying, can take up to like 8 hours of a day just to get clean water. Yeah.
And water's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They had these jugs, and they're about, I think, 50 pounds that they had to carry back and forth miles every day.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, when they present it to you, what type? When I think about miles, how many miles to go get water?
It could be like some of the villages do have water closer to them, but some of them, I think they said around 5 miles.
So
could
5
be
miles.
most.
And they're not getting in a car and driving there.
No, yeah, they're walking through the fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 5 miles there, 5 miles back. That's 10 miles with 40 pounds of water?
Yeah.
Wow. That's I can see why that's important then to look at different ways to make sure they have water and clean water. I think one of the things that I think we take advantage of, take for granted, as Americans sometimes, is the fact that we turn on our spigot at home and that water is clean and we're not going to get sick from it.
Yeah, we're not worried about that sort of thing.
Yeah, wow. That is awesome. So how did you get involved? Is it something that you chose to be a part of, or does the entire class or grade participate in it?
Well, it is about, I think, part of the grade. There was a lot of, we fundraised as a school to help support this cause. And I ran, they had a 5K for it, and I ran in that just a couple days ago. And we raised a lot of money there, too. So it's a huge project, not just in our school, but in the whole community.
All right. Well, and I know you outside of this interview, so I know that you're quite the runner. Yeah. So that's pretty cool that it's something you like to do, also help support that as well. So awesome. Can you tell me a little bit why you think this is such a special project for the students at Merton Williams?
I think it's important because clean water access and walking isn't really something that we take it for granted, and we don't really struggle with that here in the U.S. and at Merton Williams. So I think it's important for us to kind of learn about what's going on and elsewhere in the world, and kind of really take a minute to look at it and research what's going on.
Absolutely, and you're in 7th grade now, but as you go into the other grades, and that someday you'll be going off and doing other things outside of Hilton,
Yeah.
and it's really important, I think, for everyone that we understand the importance of being a good neighbor and giving back to our communities, and also giving back to other communities as well. So gratitude is such an important thing as well when we think about overall happiness. And
I think, yeah.
yeah, right?
Agree.
Like making sure that other people are feeling good, that can help us make us feel good as well. So, all right, so learning a little bit about your project and about the district's project in Merton Williams. And you talked a little bit we talked about how you enjoy doing other things. Tell us a little bit more about your schedule and how your responsibilities and opportunities in the club fit within the other commitments at school with home and friends and activities. And what other activities are you involved in?
So I am on the track team, and I focus on my academics, and I try to get a lot of family in my life because I think that's important, especially just to have that kind of centered. And yeah.
That's great.
That's
So
pretty much it.
you're spending time with your family. Awesome. You're also are you a distance or a sprinter?
I am a distance runner. I do the mile, 2 mile, and half mile.
Okay, awesome. So, and you're always training. So when you're running, you do track. Now, are you participating in cross country as well?
Yeah, I did cross country and then indoor track, and now we're doing outdoor track.
Awesome. So you're kind of year round with that.
Yes.
That's
yes,
awesome.
For sure.
I always love the endurance sports because, yes, at times you're a part of a team and you're competing against the other teams, but you're also competing against yourself, right?
Yeah, I like it because it's just trying to beat your own time. It's not really it's less of a team sport. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are you big into your nutrition as you prepare for those races?
I do a lot of nutrition in my lunches, breakfast. It's all part of it. Yeah.
All right. So do you take in a lot of carbohydrates? Is that what you do?
Yeah, a lot of pre-races, consuming the right amount of carbohydrates and proteins and stuff that will help you to get to improve your time.
Make sure you have that energy, right?
Yeah.
So are there other special things happening at Merton Williams that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think the whole, we're doing a lot of stuff towards the end of the year, so I think it's important just to kind of take in those things as they come. And obviously we have a lot of fun events coming up at the end of the year, just getting off of break. So, yeah.
Great. Awesome. So I really, when I knew you as a student here at Quest, you were a leader, and I thought that's great, and I see that's continuing on at Merton Williams, so congratulations. What advice would you give to our students who may be interested in doing more than the Ugandan Water Project and any other service learning projects?
I think it's important just to keep in mind and look from a different perspective. So when you're looking at these projects, if you want to get involved, I think the best way is just to picture in their perspective what they would need and then kind of work off of that on what to do to help.
Absolutely. You're so wise for your age.
Yeah.
Hopefully some adults will start to take a look at that as well. Like when you take that moment to have empathy and understanding of what someone else might be going through, it'll make our world a better place for sure, right?
For sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, once again, I want to thank you for being a part of Cadet Chat. This is Lucas Childs, 7th grade from Merton Williams, and we got to know a little bit more about the Service Learning Project, the Ugandan Water Project. So once again, thank you and have a great day.